Rain taps the window of a gas station bathroom. You stand under a flickering light, counting crumpled bills against a tax form you don't understand. You pull down your backward cap. $12. That's what you have, and somehow the government still wants to know about it. Here's the strange part nobody tells you. The IRS doesn't treat everyone the same. It treats you differently at every dollar. And the way it changes, it will mess with your head. Let me show you. Level 1. $0 to $15,000. You're broke. You file your taxes on a cracked phone screen, sitting on a cheap couch that sinks too far in the middle. You owe nothing. You get money back. The earned income credit lands in your account, and for 1 week, you feel rich. You spend it in 10 days. Here's what they don't say. At this level, the IRS is almost gentle. They send you money. They want you to file. You think the system is on your side. You're wrong. But you don't know that yet. Level 2. $15,000 to $40,000. You got a real job, 40 hours, a name tag. Now the math shifts. Taxes come out before you even see the check. You stare at the pay stub. Gross pay, net pay. The gap between them feels like a robbery you agreed to. You make $32,000. They take their cut weekly. Federal, Social Security, Medicare. You don't get the big refund anymore. The credits shrink. You slump back. You did everything right. You worked more, and somehow it feels worse. This is the first lie money tells you. More income, less mercy. But the system still barely notices you. You're a number in a pile of millions. Level 3. $40,000 to $90,000. You're middle class now. You rent a 1-bedroom, beige walls, a coffee maker that takes too long. You hit the 22% bracket. You feel it. Every raise, the government takes a bigger slice of the new part. You learn a word. Marginal. You start to understand something cold. The harder you climb, the more they're waiting at the top of each step. You think about a 401k. Someone at work mentions it. You almost don't bother. Then you do. You put in $200 a month. It barely stings. You forget about it. That decision, that boring, forgettable decision, saves your entire life later. You just don't know it. At this level, the IRS sees you clearly now. Your prey worth tracking. But you're still playing their game by their rules. Level 4. $90,000 to $400,000. Now it gets interesting. You're doing well. A house with a small yard. A car you actually like. You hit the higher brackets, 24%, 32%, 35%. The numbers scare you. On paper, the government is your biggest expense. Bigger than your mortgage, bigger than your car, bigger than your food. You stare at the negative feeling in your chest, even though your balance is finally positive. Then someone richer tells you a secret. You're still earning wrong. You make money as wages, W-2, income, the most taxed money in America. The rich don't earn like you. They own. So you start a side business, an LLC. Suddenly there are deductions, your home office, your phone, your mileage. For the first time, the tax code stops being a wall. It becomes a door. You realize the system was never built to punish income. It was built to reward owners. And you spent your whole life being an employee. Level 5. $400,000 to $2 million. You crossed over. You own things now. A business, property, shares. And here's the twist that breaks people's brains. You make more money than ever, and your tax rate goes down. How? You stopped earning wages. You earn capital gains. Long-term gains get taxed lower than the salary of a teacher. Let that sink in. The nurse working double shifts pays a higher rate on her overtime than you pay on $1 million stock sale. You don't feel guilty. Not really. You just feel the quiet shift in how the world treats you. Your accountant calls you "we" now, as in, we need to think about your strategy. You have a strategy. Poor you never had a strategy. Poor you just had a paycheck. You pull your cap low and stare out the window of an office that's finally yours. The view is nice. You feel nothing. Level 6. $2 million to $20 million. The IRS doesn't chase you anymore. You chase the IRS. Around the law, through it, beside it. You have a team. Lawyers, CPAs, a wealth manager who flies to you. You learn the moves the wealthy actually use. Depreciation on real estate. Borrowing against assets instead of selling them. You buy a building, and on paper it loses value, while it actually goes up. You pay less tax than the guy who fixes your car. There's a moment here, a real one. You sit in a glass conference room. They explain a strategy that saves you $400,000 in one afternoon, more than you made in 3 years of your old life. And you feel sick. Not because it's illegal, it's completely legal. You feel sick because you finally see it. The whole machine, built so the people at the bottom carry the people at the top. You were at the bottom once, counting $12 in a gas station bathroom. You almost say something. You don't. Level 7. $20 million to $100 million. Now you're invisible. Your income? Officially small. You barely earn anything. You live on loans. Buy, borrow, die. You borrow against your assets at low interest. Loans aren't income. Loans aren't taxed. You live like a king and report like a pauper. You have foundations, trusts, entities inside entities. The IRS has 80,000 employees. You have a firm whose entire job is to make sure none of them ever truly find you. You hit $100 million. And here's the paradox. The system that broke you a refund check out of mercy now lets rich you pay almost nothing out of design. The poorest version of you and the richest version of you both pay very little. The person crushed in the middle? The teacher, the nurse, the guy with the name tag. The honest worker holds up the entire pyramid. Closing. You stand in a glass penthouse now. Rain taps the window, just like that gas station bathroom 30 years ago. You're worth $100 million. And you finally understand the truth. The IRS was never testing how much money you make. It was testing whether you'd stay an employee or become an owner. The tax code isn't a punishment. It's a map. Most people never read it. They just pay it. The rich don't hate taxes. They just learned to speak its language while everyone else was too tired to read the fine print. So here's the real question. Which version of you is reading this right now? The one counting $12? Or the one finally ready to learn the rules? Because the game doesn't care which one you choose. It only rewards the one who learns it.